Miocic Ngannou trilogy. So we talked about this before, where I was like, I don't think.
But do you want to see? Yeah, but like, do you want to see a third time? For Stipe or no?
I talked about how if Stipe doesn't get an immediate rematch, where does he go? Right? Does he go and start fighting other heavyweight contenders again? He's 38 years old. So what are you going to do? You're going to face him against Derek Lewis? I don't know if the UFC wants to kill off that momentum for Derek Lewis, right? Yeah. If Ngannou wants to fight soon, he has two options. He has John Jones and he has Derek Lewis. If you go and give Stipe Derek Lewis, you kill off Derek Lewis potentially, right, in that matchup. Or you make Derek Lewis in a star. But even then, Stipe, I don't know if he still has the desire to go through the rankings again. And I'm very confident that the UFC is not just going to give him another title shot rematch. They already did that. And how long it took, and all the injuries, and all the training camps, and COVID this, and but it took so long. The heavyweight division was held up for so long.
And even you want that damage on him too. Like, he's been through wars.
Yeah, he's going to take time off as well. So one huge indicator is always the post press conference. The post press conference is where you kind of get an insight into what the UFC is thinking immediately. Yeah. Right. So if you watch the post press conference, Dana White instantly is talking about Ngannou versus Derek Lewis, Ngannou versus John Jones. Not once did you hear him talk about Ngannou versus Stipe 3. Right? So you never sorry.
But he had too much food.
So you never hear about rematch for Stipe. So that kind of leads me to think, especially now, there really hasn't been any talk about it. If it does happen, I was thinking if it does happen, it's because John Jones refuses to sign their contract or keep his contract or whatever.
$100 million.
Yeah. He refuses to keep that contract, or somebody gets hurt. Right? Those are the real possibilities. But now, the John Jones saga is very, very confusing. If you do you know Steve-O from Jackass? No, you don't know Steve-O? Anyways, so John Jones, I was just on YouTube and I see this interview on my feed. John Jones on Steve-O's podcast.
The podcast, yeah, I think I might have seen it.
Yeah.
It's a little older though, right?
No, it's new.
Okay, never mind, wrong one.
Okay.
Wrong one.
So he went on the podcast and he talked about this situation where he wants more money, all this kind of stuff. And his main points, if you want to break it down, is I was promised that if I move up to heavyweight, I'm going to have an increase in pay. Yeah. Right? The second point was Daniel Cormier, when he moved up to heavyweight, his contract got increased. He got more money. Yeah. Right? 3, who knows, who validates whether or not the UFC actually gets the number of pay-per-views that they tell their fighters. Yep. So he's saying, the UFC just told me it's $500,000 pay-per-views, and for that amount of pay-per-views, I got this amount of money for that fight. But who's going to validate it? They're a private company, so on and so forth. And the last thing was he talked about how there's people in his gym who fight and train that are in the UFC who live at the gym because they don't have enough money. Yeah. And he talked about, I'm fighting. I'm also doing this because I'm trying to get more money for those guys, so on and so forth. Not more than 2 or 3 days, I think. A tweet goes out. Okay, did you see the tweet?
Was it Jones?
John Jones, yeah.
Was the millions or no?
No. That was before. I'm talking about a new one. He sent out a tweet. He said, "Just had dinner with with Dana White."
April Fools.
No.
It was thing. So he tweeted that, and then 2 minutes later he put April Fools.
Are you serious?
I swear to God.
Was that April Fools?
It was April Fools. Yeah.
Hold on.
He was trolling. He was trolling.
Where he had a dinner with Dana White?
He was trolling for that one.
You're lying.
I swear, you can check it.
Wow. So he just fooled me then.
He fooled you, yeah. Do you think he was gonna get a thing?
I thought he said I had a dinner with with the Dana White, and everything went well.
No, April Fools. You'll see it after.
Hope you guys had a good April Fools. What?
He was trolling.
Oh my god. Had a great dinner, and the best conversation I ever had with Dana in a very long time. We got the deal done. Date to be announced soon.
And then he replied to it, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think he wrote April Fools. If you go in that tweet and then you go to replies, and then you'll see it.
To the tweet that I just read?
Mm-hmm. Should see it there.
Incredible night, brother. 2 days ago, that was April 2nd, no?
From what I saw, it was.
No, he tweeted on April 2nd.
Can I see? Let me see.
Oh, okay. Because then he says it's 11:42 here in Albuquerque.
Yeah, he was trolling.
Oh, wow.
He didn't sign nothing, bro. But
then why did Dana White write incredible night, brother?
I don't know. I think he was trolling. I don't know.
Okay, whatever. So the saga keeps going on, right? So I think John Jones is very confused. No, hold on.
John Jones, book it for Samid. Book it.
I think I'm confused on what John Jones' platform is, right? I think he's trying to get more money for himself, but he adds in these other stuff that maybe he's not. Do. Yeah, maybe it kind of clouds what his message is. So he mentioned how there's other fighters that are in the UFC that actually live at the gym, right?
Yeah, like Hamzat.
But his what he's doing doesn't really affect those people. I think he mentions it because he thinks, okay, that might be a byproduct of me getting more money, right? Yeah. He just assumes like, okay, if I make more money, that means everybody else makes more money, right? And he thinks that that's a byproduct of what he does, but that's not necessarily true, right? And because of statements like that, it kind of clouds his message, and it leaves a lot of people confused, including myself. So he also talked about how his number and their number is not that far apart. So is he really making a fuss over 500,000, 400,000, 200,000? I don't know how much money he's making. He's making this entire saga over.
But like from what I heard, like he wants at least 10 million.
He wants at least 10 million, but he was making a lot before.
Yeah, but not 10 million.
Yeah, so how much was he making? He was saying
like 2-3 million.
I remember him saying no, he's making more than that.
So like the last fight with Stipe and Francis, Stipe made 1.1.
No, but those are just the commission ones. There's more money that they make. That's just the ones that are through the commission. Because there's pay-per-view points, because you're a champion. There's sponsorship money, right? Yeah. There's all these different things. So from what I've seen, the UFC rarely ever caves in, right? To more money demands. The only people they really caved in, right, that like basically held them up, was two people. Jorge Masvidal for that Usman fight. Yeah. He was holding out for that first Usman fight. And he held out. And the reason why he got it was because it was on short notice. Yeah. The UFC was left with no option. Kamaru Usman was in Abu Dhabi, and they needed a new opponent, right? So what option did they have? And the second one was GSP for the Bisping fight. Yeah. So GSP was holding out. He was saying, I want that middleweight fight. UFC didn't want to pay him that much money. They were concerned with him just winning and then leaving. They even put a clause in that said, hey, if you win the championship, you have to defend it. But he never fulfilled it.
Brother, I disagree.
So yeah, there's really not that many times that the UFC actually caves in. So for them to cave in, I think there has to be something like a large event. A lot of things have to crash into each other for it to actually happen.
But going back to like the real topic,
Stipe versus Francis. Yeah.
So do you think we're gonna see that third fight? No.
I think you would see if the John Jones doesn't work out, Francis will face Derek Lewis. And then they'll try the John Jones fight again. And if that doesn't happen again, then they'll entertain Stipe.
What about DC?
DC, why not?
Bro gets retired. Okay.
Wait, hold on. There was some other stuff too. Well, John Jones was talking about like he doesn't need to fight anymore, right? So that's another thing. John Jones, if you think about it, John Jones has made a lot of money in his time in the UFC. His purpose for fighting is like
legacy.
Yes, that's why he's trying to portray in his message is that I'm doing this more than just for the money, right? But then at the same time, his main concern is the money, right? So is it because of the principle? Is it because of legacy? Like I don't get it.
His issue is that like he talks, then he just talks too much.
Yeah.
Like he's like a small little like comment on everything.
Yeah.
And then like people get annoyed. What?
It's hard. It's hard to talk. It's hard to talk and send out a message without confusing and contradicting, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's contradicting himself. He clouds his message by adding on these different things, and that might just be because he just wants to talk about a lot of things, right? And he has a lot of issues on his mind, and he wants to voice all of them at once rather than just pick and choose.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know, but I think it'll be Ngannou versus Lewis, and then they'll try John Jones again. If not, then they'll throw in Stipe, and Stipe is going to be just chilling until then.
Being a firefighter.
Yeah.